So on top of that, there's always that incentive. So here we are moving along. I did unfortunately have to reconnect, so I didn't actually catch the bands, who banned what. But it is Rally, Monkey King, Scout, and Fade are the ultimate bans. No junglers being touched so far. Even with 2 picks in, you got Engineer Lowstone and then Pebbles, Master of Arms. How about that? No junglers being touched here, Riser.
Yeah, none at all. And even with this final Moraxis pick, it doesn't look like we're going to see any junglers in the first phase of the picking. And it is something I've talked about before, how the trend is towards moving, having that second support hero instead of a jungler hero. And I think a lot of that has to do with the introduction of counter wards, being able to successfully pull. Also using counter wards to deward any of the enemy team's any of the enemy team's wards that could potentially see the roam from your 2 support heroes is also a very powerful tool. And of course, the warding of the enemy team's jungle, as in stopping the creeps from spawning for that jungle hero, are all just contributing factors to how the metagame and the drafting phase has shifted recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're going to enter that second tier of bans now. But yeah, again, the jungle is just not being touched. You got to wonder if they're even going to be banned here at this point, or if both teams are just going to be under the case of we don't want to run that strategy. We're going to go something completely different here. And hey, when you go 4 bans and 6 picks in total, and no junglers being touched yet, maybe that is going to be the case. So we do finish off with more access then into a Predator, of course. So Predator looks like going to be the carry of choice over here on the Hellborn side, and Predator, again, he seems like he has found his place pretty comfortable in the competitive scene recently. The Stone Hide makes him a very annoying and difficult carry to deal with, on top of just the raw farming potential and the hard-hitting ability with the Carnivorous, as especially get that attack speed built up. So, and with that said, I mean, you already got a hero like Moraxis, Lowstone. Heroes that can tend to get a little bulkier, so that's something Predator can take advantage of, excuse me. So we'll see how that develops here. You know something else, Rise? I actually made this point before we came on, but I also love this new tournament staff. And I've always been a fan ever since it was introduced. Again, it's been only a little bit of time, but in case you don't know what I'm talking about, if you go to the stats page, there's actually that new tournament stats tab that was introduced in the last patch. And you can actually sort it by specific events, so in this case, Season 2 qualifiers. And for a team like this, especially this Rape team over here, don't know really anything about them, it actually gives you a good idea of, what they're actually about. They are undefeated currently here in this event, as you can see, 10-0 here for HoN. And you can, take a look at their stats and see how they progress. So, again, that's going to be really fun to keep in mind, especially as the cycles start picking up. And you can start taking advantage of that. So, there's a Keeper of the Force being banned, Riser. So at least one hero's addressed.
Yeah, it was kind of funny when I was just streaming after the patch and opened the stats page or the profile for somebody and was just clicking around, and then I clicked on this purple page and kind of jumped in my chair because I was like, what the hell is this, purple?
Yeah.
Where did this come from? So yeah, that tournament stats thing is definitely pretty cool. I hadn't really heard anything about that being introduced, and suddenly it was there. But yeah, I definitely agree. I like it. It's pretty cool to look at the stats. I mean, we had kind of like a website you could look at, like the stats page for a lot of the players. It was, I don't know, it had almost like a points ranking, but it was a little awkward. Like, the more denies you had, it boosted your points considerably. But anyway, yeah, it's great. And then, yeah, like you said, the drafting phase, of course, has progressed considerably. So we do see the junglers in the second stage of this draft being banned out, Ophelia and Keeper, and then Parasite being picked up by the Legion team. So they will eventually go with that jungler. It doesn't look like the Hellborn team, on the other hand, has any interest in running a jungle strategy.
Unless they finish off here with that Tempest, but other than that, perhaps not. But yeah, Parasite addressed, and Corrupted Disciple going to be the final pick here for our Legion side. And for Pain Train and Corrupted Disciple, another carry that's kind of stepped back onto the competitive scene with that recent balance patch. And on top of that, he can be considered to be decent against a hero like Predator. Definitely start draining that damage of his, and the fact that it is physical now, so the Stone High, no effect on it. So what do you make of the Corrupted Disciple pick? Are you a fan of him?
Yeah, I think it might be directly related to the Predator with the, what is it called, Corrupted Conduit, going through the Stone Hide, just kind of like a hard counter even to Predator. He just leaps in there, wants to be in the middle of the team fight, whacking away, and then suddenly he, all his damage is drained by that CDW. So yeah, I think that's directly related to Predator, and of course he is that kind of snowballing, not really a hard carry. You pick him and you get your core items usually, and then you can go fight because he has some great tools for fighting early. So Yeah, that's definitely here we could be seeing more often. I like his skill set for the early and the mid game.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely become. I've always been a pretty big fan of the hero, to be honest. So happy to see him kind of making that comeback, and we'll see what perhaps Quifix here can end up playing him on the side of the Legion team. But this last pick over here, there it is. It's going to be Plague Rider. So they were thinking about it for quite a while. I kind of wonder if maybe the idea of a possible jungle was in mind there, but that would have made the lanes maybe a little awkward too because of what they had. So they decided to go the Plague Rider, and Plague Rider, another hero that we've been addressing again. Speaking of that, another one that's kind of stepped back onto the competitive scene. Do you believe it is because of the level 1 deny effect, how he is the only hero now that can level 1 deny, or is there just more to it that he is ultimately a pretty sound hero, do you think?
I think that. Oh shit! My webcam just fell. Okay, I'll put it back. Bring it back. But I think that is relevant. The big thing about Plague Rider is why he stopped getting picked is the amount of junglers being picked up with minions, which really counters him. Just because of his ultimate. So it could also be because we're seeing less junglers with minions picked up here. Of course, there are no minion or no summons on this Legion team, which makes his ultimate that much more threatening. And I remember when Plague Rider was popular, people just picked Keeper of the Forest as pretty much a direct counter to it, with all those minions just soaking up the bounces, and then you get your lane back, but Tree ultimately wants to push the lane quite early, so even if your lane's back, your towers are going to be pushed very early regardless. And then you can kind of say the armor, they both have that armor skill, they kind of cancel each other out in a way, so both teams are going to have that benefit. So I think that could be one of the reasons Plague Rider could be seeing more popularity, which is the lack of summons in the game.
Yeah, that's true. Very, very true right there. So, and obviously in this case, they are not going up against that creep jungler here. And of course, Parasite being the jungler of choice that end up being picked up by Pain Train over here. So, not having to worry about that. As far as the lanes are being set up, going through them right now, it doesn't seem like anything is too off the wall by any means. It seems like we are going to pretty much have the standard when it comes down to it. My big question is, we're probably going to see the Master of Arms babysit that Predator up there. If you had a choice, I mean, in this case here, you have a Nymphora and a Master of Arms support. Do you think it makes... Would you do the Nymphora with the Pebbles or the Master of Arms with the Pebbles? Do you have a preference?
They're honestly about the same to me. They're both kind of like greedy style support heroes that have weak laning phase, so I kind of consider them about the same. Perhaps the mana spam from Nymph could actually make up for it a little in this mid lane. Master of Arms does have 2 nukes compared to 1, but the animation on his nukes and his auto attack is what I think make him weak. His stun takes so long to travel. You can pretty much just run away while it's in the air. But they're both about the same. Perhaps you could argue that the Grace of the Nymph, though, could be a little more useful with Pebbles in the middle lane.
Yeah. Always a strong ability in terms of getting that mana back, of course, and allowing to be a little bit more free-willing to use those abilities. So, but Master of Arms is going to be at the top lane, so with that said, he's going to, of course, be babysitting Predator here when it comes down to it and really boxing out this Lodestone. So, Icky? That makes sense. I'm sitting here trying to... it looks like Ice kind of, but then there's a K in there. Icky, that makes a lot more sense. Icky. Playing the Lodestone here, of course. I'm all over the place. It's early still. Still waking up, I guess. Anyways, come down to it. You see right there again. Gonna give up the harassment, and Predator should have some free farm right here, so something you should have to address. Now, speaking of Predator, what do you think about a build? I mean, we've seen ranging from the early Alchemist Bones to Cortella Parasite to Insanitarius. Do you think there is a item that you should be going for, or is it really just preference in the end?
I think you can get away with Alchemist Bones this game. There's not like a whole lot of pushing pressure from the Legion team, and you can easily fight, but there could be initiation in the middle lane. Here goes the Pebbles. Going to get initiated on by Meraxis and Engineer, of course, with the assistance of Parasite, and Pebbles will go down. There's your first blood. So nice job by Parasite rotating in this mid. He needs to make something happen in this middle lane, or if they end up losing mid and top, it could be trouble for them.
Yeah, that was obviously, that's what you want to do, Parasite, especially in this case. The fact that you are the team with the jungler, take advantage of that and set up the ganks in the middle lane. Well executed right there. So you think an Alchemist Bones could be a good pickup, though, for Predator in the
end?
I
think he could get away with it. If he's like completely free farming top, then I don't see it being too dangerous. Like, the other team's not going to do some crazy push and he's caught with his pants down with no fighting items. So I think he can get away with it this game.
All right, so we'll see. Predator here, what he decides to go for in the end. As far as his build, bottom lane seems like Corrupted Disciple. You can even say as expected, really, using that conduit aggressively here in the laning phase. And applying the pressure when he can get in range to that Plague Rider. But at the same time, Plague Rider, the Extinguish, and of course what makes him such a great suicide hero, the fact that he can keep the lane positioning in a pretty good place. Back to the middle lane though, again, another King being set up. Nymphora's in trouble this time, and yes, she will fall. So Pebbles falls an earlier time. This time Nymphora goes down. Pinky Curdy here on Parasite, doing the aggressive play again, as you really want to see, especially in this case here for Pain Train. So no doubt the early MVP in this game, and it is going to make Xiao Li here on Pebbles have a difficult time when it comes to his farm earlier on. He has 200 gold per minute, but Meraxis, of course, is having the better time so far. However, creep farm, I mean, he does manage to get 11 creep kills compared to the 10 of Meraxis. So even with the action going against him so far, he still is managing to do a pretty good job, at least with the creep farm. So that's the good news, I guess.
Yeah, Parasite's done a great job setting up kills in this middle lane. Usually it's not that easy to gank for a Meraxis and an Engineer, but apparently Meraxis himself could be taking a little pressure here. I don't know if they end up damage. Here comes Master of Arms, but there was no Chuck from Pebbles. And I think with the Chuck up in the air and the double nukes from MOA, they could have maybe taken that kill, but a bit of a misplay there.
Well, a couple of misplays. One was the fact that the stuns were not staggered the best right there. Stalagmites came out pretty much at the same time as the Zeal stun. And on top of that, Master of Arms was also just a little bit too late. And even when he got there, he kind of stutter-stepped. Even auto-attacked a creep, it looked like, as he was running in. So clearly just some mis-microing, some miscontrol even going on right there. Unfortunately, in a couple of cases, and in the end, no kill happening. So yeah, no doubt something they could have used. But how about this decision as a whole? Look at Master of Arms. He has actually adjusted all the way to the bottom lane even. And almost as if he's going to start supporting this Plague Rider down here, if anything, boxing out Corrupted. What do you make of this decision?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the lane positioning top. If you look at the lane, it's pretty much right next to Lodestone's tower.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it could be shifting here a little backwards, but it just when it's at that point, there was a little bit of initiation in the middle lane. Just looks like some harass, but it's really hard for an MOA to really do much to harass Lodestone out. He can kind of just sit there and tank your auto attacks that are very, very low damage with his shield, and you know he's close enough to his tower that he has to be too worried about dying. So just with the loss of lane control, and then just you know I don't really like Master of Arms in that safe lane. He doesn't really. His auto attacks are weak. His nuke isn't really that powerful. It's hard to keep heroes like Lodestone out of the lane, so I guess they just sensed that he wasn't doing much up there and decided, screw it, we'll just throw him bottom.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's when you think about it, obviously, you write it down on paper, it's like Plague Rider, Master of Arms, like, that really doesn't make the most sense. But in this circumstance, I mean, as you're kind of going over, why not make the best of the situation as a whole and come here? It's not like this is going to hurt Plague Rider necessarily. I mean, sure, in the anime, slow down his experience just a little bit, but in the end, also, you're also accomplishing boxing out Corrupted Disciple. At least that is the goal of it. Whether or not that is ultimately going to be accomplished, we'll have to wait and see. But he is going to start roaming around now, and maybe going to be stacking some Ancients right here to eventually do it as a team. Back to the middle lane, though, I constantly see Pebbles using those Stalagmites pretty aggressively, and that goes back to the fact that they do have Nymphora again. You see right there, level 2 Grace of the Nymph going on to Pebbles, and he is back to full mana. He also has the bottle on top of that, so which he currently has given to Nymphora to actually regen herself, again, with her using that mana to give him the mana. So it kind of makes sense right there. But also on top of everything else, Steam Boost picked up by Predator. He was pulling up all that gold. I was thinking maybe he could be going for the early Alchemist, but he does go Steam Boost first. Again, though, it still isn't out of the question. The Alchemist bones could definitely still be next in line. So we'll just keep an eye on that to see how Predator progresses. But middle lane, Pebbles seems like he's actually, again, been doing pretty good job. And there's the bottom lane kill. Yep, Corrupted Disciple getting taken out. Plague You not even necessary there. Oh, middle lane though. Nymphora getting collapsed on right here. She will eventually fall. You see the Kex out trying to catch Pebbles, but he's a little too far. So action in a couple lanes right there, Isaac.
Yeah, for sure. Parasite rotated to the enemy jungle, trying to get a gank because it was hard for him to come from his own side, especially with this ward from Nymphora being placed in the middle lane. So coming from behind is usually much easier to gank than coming forward, especially with it is very difficult to initiate with Meraxis and Engineer. And then of course, yeah, Master of Arms picked up that illusion bottom, then just kind of flanked Corrupted Disciple from behind. So one of the benefits of that Plague Rider deny keeping the lane back and then set up an easy gank for Master of Arms.
Yeah. So pushing just over the 7-minute mark, still a fairly short, comfortable enough. Smaller lead here for the Legion team, but obviously we still got plenty of game ahead of us, and Like, not too much to look into when it comes down to that. But again, Predator another 1,100 gold saved up. So, keeping a close eye on that to see what he goes for. But in the meantime, also, Pebbles, 230 gold per minute. Doing pretty well. Moraxis, though, over 300 gold per minute. Obviously, being 1-0-2 helps quite a bit with that. And you also see him kind of dodging the stalagmites right there. Again, a case of they were trying to set up the gank. Master of Arms was there. Not able to go back to the bottom lane, though. Plague Rider being dove on. Turret comes out, and Plague Rider will fall. It almost looked like he was turning around and maybe even ulti right there to try to counter kill on a Parasite. But Parasite going to be fine. He actually takes over the Warlock here. And going to go past the tower. And it's a good choice by him because if he went the other direction, it's almost as if, yeah, they had the ward of sight there, so they probably saw something coming, and he goes the correct direction. It's going to be fine. Pebbles running down here with Master of Arms. They want to chase still. The port out from Pinky Curdy, though, and he will be successful. So Parasite, again, just continuing to be the very active Parasite that you want to see here if you're Pain Train. And he is now 1-0-3, and he already has that Neophytes book with the Ghost Marcher, so Codex is well on the way here for him, and there's plenty of squishies on the Hellborn side. Good start for him.
Yeah, he's definitely an excellent job roaming around. Seems like the entire map, setting up kills, mid lane and bottom lane. Really good timing and positioning coming up from him. I like when he swapped to the enemy jungle, come from behind. But yeah, definitely well played. I think Pinky Curry is just kind of one of the heroes he's known for playing. Yeah.
Oh, top lane. Predator's the one that leaped in first. He's in a little bit of trouble, though. Stonehind's going down right there. We see the explosion coming out for Lodestone. It's not going to be enough for the kill, though. Predator on the run. He does not have his support just yet, although Pebbles is coming in, and this could be a turnaround chance. Parasite nearby. Stalagmites connect, though. Plague Rider running it as well. There's a chuck, and the double damage activated, and down goes Parasite right there. And you see Lodestone just going to walk away. So great job right there for the Hellborn team. Good job surviving in the end by Predator. And, excellent turnaround in the end, obviously. So they're going to make a counter push up here at the top lane, it looks like. So you get talking about Pinky Curdy and the success he's had so far in this game. That time, it did not work out in the end.
Yeah, that was a little bit too optimistic of a gank. Just the silence from Parasite, and this is not going to last long enough for the Shatterstorm to take effect. I think they would have had to do like a preemptive Shatterstorm into his stun. You know, maybe from the fog, like these trees behind the tier 1 tower, or in front of the tier 1 tower, excuse me. But yeah, it didn't work out. I think even if Predator had changed his snippets to intelligence, he actually could have leaped and killed Lodestone as well. I don't know if he would have survived after that, but he would have gotten a kill on Lodestone. But regardless, nice support coming out from the Hellborn team. The teleport's coming out to eventually take out Parasite.
Yeah. Oh, bottom lane. Master of Arms is a Rev here. He's invis, but he's probably wondering what the hell's going on. Parasite actually steals the invis with that face suck as well as the burst damage, of course, and eventually finishes him off. So that's unfortunate for Master of Arms. He thought he was fine picking up the invis room, but you saw Pro Dakari right there playing the engineer. He puts down the Rev. Probably saw him pick it up in the first place. And ends up getting the kill as a result of it. So that's just one of those unfortunate times if you're Master of Arms in that case. Thought you were going to be fine. Sure enough, was not. Lodestone right here. Not sure what that was about. Up there? Yeah, that was
I didn't catch what he was doing. But
well, he just simply uses Rocket like on the cliff right here. I don't know if he's trying to go for some positioning, but that didn't make sense really. So they do have
we do see an MTP in the bottom lane, though. CD could be in a lot of trouble here.
Uh-oh.
See if they can catch him. He is kind of positioned pretty far back, though, so this is going to take some shenanigans. Maybe they'll have to toss first. I don't know if they're thinking about it right now, because it is not the easiest gank. Oh, here we go. They use the hatchet to get through, and CD's in a lot of trouble. He's definitely not getting out of this one. Mass TP's coming out, but I don't think they're going to be in time. Raxus is chasing them forward. Actually does not have boots. And if they catch her, she could go down.
Oh, nice axe. She should be falling right here. Yep, there's the stomp, and even the Matrax going to be used to guarantee the kill. So you've seen Infora falling right there, and they got the kill though that matters on the Corrupt Disciple, and he is actually struggling here early on. 190 gold per minute, not looking the best. You know, I'm gonna actually restart real quickly though. With that said, because I am having a graphical issue, as I'm sure people that are tuning in are very aware of. So let me just go ahead and reconnect here real quickly. Hopefully that takes care of it. If this doesn't take care of it, then I'll actually restart the game. But I'm having a lot of blocks coming out when anything happens.
Okay. Oh, a little white and black.
Yeah, the white and black,
boxes.
And just any big explosion, it's just big blocks coming out. So it seems like it still may be bugged actually. Here, you know what? Could we get a pause for 1 sec? I'm gonna ask for a pause here real quickly because it is quite enough.
Well, I think my cast is good enough to where you could actually leave and I could cast it and everyone would visualize it perfectly. So if you want to continue, feel free.
That is very true. All right, let's go back to me real quickly. Oh, let me move this real quickly here. Just get a restart in 1 second. All right, let's just do a quick restart here, and then look to come back in. But yeah, so as I was mentioning there, Riser, though, before that pause, Corrupted Disciple, he's being locked down this game from the looks of it, and also on top of that, Elder Parasite being picked up at that time by Predator. So it's safe to say the Hellborn team seems like the pace of the game is going in their favor right now, early on.
So yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, you can kind of compare them. They're both in their short lane, the farmers for their team, and 350 GPM Predator compared to a 203 GPM Corrupted Disciple. It's certainly not where you want to be. I mean, they did do an excellent job in this mid lane. Probably kudos to Parasite for setting up so many kills.
Yeah.
But it is a bit of a problem, and I could see the Hellborn team taking advantage of this, with Predator being quite farm, just going and taking fights with an early farm Predator is certainly a very, very powerful tool. So I'd like to see them make use of that, maybe just start to push towers together and utilize that Predator's early farm. Hopefully he can snowball into the late game and carry his team.
Yeah. So there we go. Come back in and we'll see. But yeah, again, Corrupted Disciple, he is going to be trying to go for the early Energizer. Yeah, and it looks like it is fixed, yeah. So the conduit, or the Electrotide right there, it actually looked like an Electrotide, so that was good. But the Elder Parasite choice on Predator, he's going to continue to farm with that, of course. And that's something that this Legion side is going to have to think about addressing here in the near future. Clearly a Morax's portal key can help with that. Master of Arms again off to the side, although he just runs into an illusion, so not a big deal right there. Moraxis sending his other illusion to the top lane, actually. Going to try to maybe scare Moraxis. Or, excuse me, scare Predator, but not even going to do enough. And in fact, Predator leaping onto Lowstone right here. Of course, he has a rocket drill, so he's going to be more than fine. And you see that Moraxis illusion. It is going to kind of scare Predator a little bit. And he's going to go right back on and realize quickly. Oh, wow, yeah. That's actually kind of a big deal. Big resource used right there. Yeah. So they can push the tower, though, at least. Should be able to here.
It's one of those tower pushes. Well, we're all here.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
As well. Yeah, it's going to work.
All the time.
So 13.5 minutes in. Gonna push this top tower. As far as the Legion team is concerned, they're gonna try to counter push the middle and the bottom lane, it looks like. That could definitely work out in their favor if they can ultimately get that, so.
Yeah, I think this bottom tower is gonna be free. They have 2 catapults. Parasite just grabbed one. And he may even look into initiate onto play right here. Jumps out of it, and there's the glyph actually being used. We'll see if there's gonna be a fight.
Poured in. Nope, gonna be canceled like actually.
Yeah, they canceled it.
So you were talking about that, though. They do deny the bottom tower, but Parasite choosing to take over the Hell Cannon right there. So you think that's not the best choice? He should have just let that Hell Cannon stay and then...
No, I meant that's what I meant.
Okay.
He takes it and they can push with 2 catapults. That's like Parasite. Usually you can't push very effectively, but if you time it right and have 2 catapults, you can push.
Gotcha. Well, you see right there, Pebbles running in, but gonna miss with the Stalagmites. So running with the Haste Rune, kind of going a little reckless right there in the end, though. Not going to happen. A couple of denies coming out, though, of course, on the towers. Obviously, the top tower also being denied. Back to the middle lane, though. We do have initiation, and 4 getting jumped on. Pebbles also in trouble. He, too, will fall. And they just completely collapsed right there. I went off him for a second, but it looks like Lowstone got the jump on them with that Shatter Storm. And a beautiful follow-up on top of that. So, good catch here from the Legion side. Picking off both Pebbles. And Infora Pebbles going to be delayed a little bit further now from that portal key phase, unfortunately. So we need to start doing those.
That's what they're going to need. They need to create some space for Corrupted Disciple to recover and farm. And of course, I believe Moraxis should have his portal key. Yeah, he's got portal key plus 800 gold, so he's having a great start. Look for him to kind of carry this early game to the mid game for the Legion team, because unfortunately CD is really far behind. So I think Pebble after that death is still pretty far away from his portal key. You know, if he was close to it, I'd like to see them go take a fight, but without it and versus Moraxis portal key, they might have to wait a little bit longer, maybe find a few more of their core items before they can take, head-on engagement.
Home of the Victim picked up by Predator, so Insanitarius looks like going to be next in line. He's been doing the farm game up here on the top lane, really hasn't got involved himself. Not to say that that's a bad thing by any means, but something else to kind of keep in mind. But yeah, as you're saying, with the game picking up here and the aggressive play coming out here from the Legion side, Codex is going to be picked up. No, it doesn't have enough for the Codex yet. For some reason, okay, did he not have Ghost Marchers earlier? I could have sworn I saw Ghost
Striders.
Okay, wow.
He went Blood Chalice and directly into Striders.
Okay. For some reason, I thought I saw the Ghost Marchers, but yeah, that makes sense now with this build. So not there just yet, but is going to be coming up here. The Energizer finished on Corrupted Disciple. He's made his way to the top lane. He's going to pick up the farm up there, as he currently is sitting about 246 gold per minute. So again, kind of recovering here, but going to still need a bit more. So Legion side though, do they need to start hunting this Predator? Do you think, or is killing his teammates just fine at the end?
I think they can kill the rest of their team. He's a pretty tough gank. He has a ton of health. He's going to jump onto CD right here. CD using the conduit, actually, and Predator is actually forced to run away.
Negative damage. Not the best.
Yeah. So, negative 74.
You're not going to be hitting him.
You hit him.
But would the Carnivorous still work, though? Actually, Predator in the meantime, going to get counter jump. Holy crap. You say he's tough to gank. Well, you bring all 4 there, 5 even. He can actually fall pretty easily in the end, so... Good counter coming out right there. But, I mean, 2 things. Not only just great movement from the Legion side, but we also saw the power of that conduit once again. And on top of that, the fact that it is physical now, not magical. If this was before the patch, that could have been a little bit different as far as that initiation went. So that was actually it's definitely a big change for Corrupted Disciple once again, and good against Predators as we expected. And they end up getting the turnaround kill as well as a tower kill. So that's a huge swing of momentum right there for the Legion team, actually.
Yeah, that was really big. They got free tower, free kill, and Predator, who's kind of the only one doing reasonably well. And yeah, wow, I didn't realize the conduit sucked up damage that quickly. It seemed like in no time at all, Corrupted Disciple was at nearly 200 damage, and the Predator was sitting at negative 70 or something. So, you know, I said Predator's really farm. They can take a fight, but man, if he gets a full conduit off like that, the fight could change very quickly, even without any items. I mean, that conduit's still going to be the same thing no matter how farmed he is.
Well, I mean, I'm actually trying to look at the tooltip right now. Bottom line looks like there might be some action. The Moraxis going in. Parasite with the assist of the Codex. Down goes Master Bomb. And now Plague Runner also being jumped right here. Auto attacks coming out. Lowstone with a follow-up. And he comes in with a head smash. Pebbles, though, going to go for the counter combo. Look at how beefy, or not enough damage even. Not really even beefy in that case. Just couldn't be enough damage. Nephora now getting trapped herself. Lowstone with the Shatter Storm. Down goes Nephora. Double tap ends up coming out. So Pebbles jumping in right there, trying to combo for a counter kill, but not successful in the end on a Parasite. So this game really starting to pick up now in the favor of the Legion side. 12-3 hero kill lead, and you got a 7,000 goal lead with a 7,500 experience lead. So the good movement coming out from them, and although Predator's still maintaining a decent farm, obviously the game is now in the pace and in the favor here of the Legion side. But yeah, I was looking at the conduit and trying to see if there's an actual number on there that says how frequently it adds up, but I don't actually see anything about... It does. I mean, it was very fast, as you were saying. It definitely caught me off guard even a little bit, but it seems like it's even a little bit less than a second.
I don't know if they didn't. Did they change the actual amount of damage or just change it to be physical?
They just changed it to physical.
Oh, it's minus 20 per charge.
Range. So, yeah. But I was looking for like how quickly. Is it just every second? Even? It adds up. Maybe it is every second.
I don't know how often he gets a charge.
Yeah, I don't see anything about it.
Oh, 1 charge per second.
Does it say that? Oh, yeah, it does at the top. Okay. A lot of text there. Okay, so. But yeah, it adds up quickly, and again, as we saw on Predator, he leapt in thinking he was going to be aggressive, but before you know it. But I was actually kind of curious, too, with the Carnivorous, I kind of wonder... So with the Carnivorous, but still, yeah, that wouldn't take effect because of that, so... Oh, shit.
Yeah, it'd probably still stay the same. I think so.
Alright, so it looks like...
This isn't the WoW... The guy with the... Okay, it's not the guy with the WoW playing dad.
That's not the WoW playing dad, no. We were a little delayed because of a battleground, apparently. Somebody had to finish their battleground. But we're going to be good to go now. Well, hopefully. As soon as he comes back, so... Again, here we are on the HoN Tour Season 2 qualifiers. These two teams already making Diamond, so congratulations to both teams. At this point, though, playing for the seeding. So you got the 8 teams that were invited, including Team USA. I actually don't have the list in front of me, but...
Team USA?
Yeah, Team
I've
USA.
seen those guys.
Where are those guys? He's reconnected right here, but yeah, so we got the 8 invites. I noticed people keep asking about TMSR and like where are those guys in this event. So again, just to clarify, the 8 teams were invited, including TMSR, Team USA, you know, VDT, Lion Esports Club, Just to name a few. It's all on HoNcast.com as well as HoN Tour even.
Now, was that seeded according to last season's performance or the points, or was this just kind of a
It was. I think it's safe to say it was a mix. It was a mix of
recent results?
not
as well?
only last season of course and how you ultimately performed, but your recent activity, your recent playing in events, both scrimmaging as well as the couple events that were popping up, and just things like that. I mean, when it came down
Well, you
to
kind of
it,
have to because TMSR is a brand new team.
exactly.
Obviously, they deserve a spot. But,
Yeah,
you know.
that's what I was gonna say. There is a lot of cases where teams have changed around. I mean, VDT is another example. Team USA not so much, but obviously picked up the one new player. But
Right.
so yeah, it's been switching around a little bit. So yeah, those 8 teams were
Yeah,
invited.
makes sense to me.
Yeah. Okay, looks like he might be good to go though. Back into this one. But all right, so yeah, the momentum most certainly picking up here for the Legion side. 2,300 gold saved up from Meraxis. That's already with the portal key. 2,500 make that. So Meraxis really nearly 400 gold per minute. Jeez, he is 4-0-7 right here when it comes down to his hero kill stats. So he has been involved in 11 of the 12 kills so far. He's done very active. What do you think of Meraxis? He's a hero we don't actually see too often. You got your Deadwood, your Rally, your Pebble. It just picked up over him. It seems like.
Yeah, you don't see him much anymore because he's not a good laner. I mean, this game, they obviously own the lane. I wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention to how it happened. I think perhaps just some excellent play contributed to, their domination of the mid lane. Maybe just well-executed axes and kegs and then followed up by the Parasite. But in all honesty, I always come back to the lanes, how I always talk about it, because maybe it's just something to do with me playing a jungle, and then, ganking for mid is kind of the most important thing. So he's just it's hard to initiate with him. It's hard to win your lane with as Meraxis. Usually when you go even as Meraxis in your lane, you're happy. Of course, this game was not an example of that. It was a domination. Yeah. But it's just, I think that's really what it comes down to. He's just kind of weaker in the laning phase, and it's harder to get out of the laning phase. I mean, if you can, then he's a fantastic hero. He has a ton of useful abilities. That Quake stun is definitely a very powerful initiation tool. 2.5 second stun in an AoE around you. So, he has his ups and downs, but I think mostly the downs outweigh the ups in this case.
Yeah, so Corrupted Disciple, he accidentally used his Overload here at the bottom lane. I assume that was an accident. It's not really the most effective pushing tool necessarily. At least in that case right there. Middle lane in the meantime, they try to jump Lowstone. It's not going to be nearly enough damage. And actually, it might be in some trouble. Plague is bouncing around. The Lowstone barely still alive. He will live, but he walks into the energy field. Oh, no, that's his own. Anyways, he does fall in the process, but the response here from the Legion team is too strong. Double tap coming out right there. You see both Predator and Master of Arms. They're going to split up. Master of Arms, he might not be so lucky. As the portal key from Meraxis trying to go for the TP. And then 4 coming in with a beautiful Zealstone, actually. And it does help keep him alive. So, in the end, though, a 2-for-1 exchange. So they did get the kill on the Lodestone. That's the target they jumped in the first place, but obviously not going as planned right there in the end. And the Legion team, once again, just very quick to response, honestly. When it came down to it, Pain Train seems like they're doing a pretty good job of that and being on the ball. And,
yeah, I just think it's getting a little out of hand for the Hellborn team right now. Sure, Predator's still farmed, but he's not really one of those heroes that, okay, we can turtle on our base till Predator gets really farmed. He's not Dark Lady or Mage Bane, so the longer this game goes, probably he won't get that much stronger. And just with the pace of the game right now, I think all the Legion heroes are going to get stronger. So it looks pretty grim right now. They could try to avoid the fights and just try and split push and stop feeding, but it's going to be very difficult at this stage of the game to come back.
Yeah, a lot easier said than done, especially, again, it just continues to be a very active gameplay here from our Legion side, and you do have an active team with that said, and in fact, it's going to get even worse, it looks like, as I believe both Lodestone and Parasite are going to be going portal keys here from the way they're saving up that gold, and obviously it just makes sense with the follow-up. He does have the level 2 Codex, but going to be going the portal key. What do you think of that, by the way? I know we talked about, whether you want to level up the Codex or maybe go something else, but he goes to level 2. Honestly, that seems like that also is pretty, I don't want to say standard, but it seems like players do that. They get level 2 Codex and then they go into something else. Does that just happen to be coincidence, or is there a reason for that?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I don't know what's so much better about level 2 than level 3. I'm just always a fan of leveling it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting the portal key. I think they have plenty of damage right now anyway, so just being able to follow up more efficiently also makes sense as well. But usually when you're winning, upgrading that codex is just free kills on everyone. You know, if he had like level 4 codex, he can kill anyone, I think, except for Predator.
Now, Corrupted Disciple, he is going the Ice Brand here. Well, you know, it's probably going to be a Frostburn into a Dawnbringer eventually. But the thing to keep in mind about this build is, obviously, and not that I am against it, but you do have a Predator who kind of thrives off, you know, the more life you do have. But at the same time, as we saw with that Conduit earlier, he just gets that off, and he's not too worried in the end. So I definitely can see where that Corrupted Disciple can be more than fine. With going a bulky build against a hero like Predator, he's one of the few that can do that, you could say, because of the fact of the Conduit. And again, as we saw earlier, how powerful that can be against him. So, I don't. What is your take? Would you like to see a different route, or are you fine with the Ice Brand? Actually, they were going the middle lane. Initiation, Plague Cutter, Nymph4. They both fall quickly. Double tap just like that from Moraxis. He comes in with the Arcane Shield. The Matrix activated. Pebbles jumps in, gets a kill on Lowstone, but he's in trouble by the Plague going out. Fraction. That's going to be a pretty good one at that. Down goes. Looks like Engineer and Lowstone fall. So, a good response there in the end, and that was a buyback from Plague Rider, by the way. So, he came back and got a decent ulti off, I guess. So that kind of
it was a good buyback. It was definitely worth it. They ended up anything they can get at this point is quite helpful. But well, there's two things about the CD build. One of the things is the worst part about Predator is how easily he does get kited after that initial jump. You know, he does have a lot of movement speed and he can track down people, but Tablets of Command, any slows are really the bane of Predator, and you could argue that the Ice Brand could kind of play into that. I kind of consider Shrunken Head on Corrupted Disciple pretty core.
Yeah.
But like you said, with that Conduit, perhaps he doesn't really need to worry about Predator too much this game. So if he just plays his cards right, so he can bait his team a little, you know, wait for the Pebbles combo, maybe even the Plague-oo, and then run in with that extra movement speed and get a full Conduit off, he can just rip through everyone anyway.
Predator seems like he's going to be following suit. He actually goes an Ice Brand himself here, on top of that Elder Parasite and Sanitarius that he has. So, I mean, he is bulked up. He has the Sanitarius currently activated, 2,400 life when he does have that up. So, he is already quite the beefy hero himself. That's basically 1,000 more life than anyone on the Legion team, anyone in the game even. Bottom lane, though, Nymph4 is going to be picked off once again. Moraxis just Potsy medic here, 7-0-8. You got a 5-1-8 Parasite on top of that. Again, just overall a very aggressive team and not afraid to take advantage of it. Mickey Curdy, is he leveling up the Codex now? Well, he could very likely, but of course, as we talked about, with that portal key first here. So Predator trying to do his best, man. Trying to do his best. 270 gold per minute. Does have the Ice Brand delivered. Gonna see what he can make of it. I mean, obviously the Dawnbringer for him too. It's probably going to be the case here. You think that is going to be the best choice for him?
Well, hold that thought.
Yep.
Yeah. Free kill for Parasite, so even with just the level 2, going to be able to take out heroes like a Plague Rider with only 170 gold per minute. Really doesn't have any farm. But, yeah, Dawnbringer's okay. I think Bulwark could be good, but there is initiation into the middle lane. Here we go.
Here we go. Nymph4 porting in with this heal set. Actually going to save him initially, but not long enough. Pebbles runs into the trap, but Predator leaps in, and Sanitarius goes up. The Stone as well. He says, I don't care about your energy field. He chases down Lowstone, but he does need to think about getting away. Corrupted Disciple is not here, so that is the saving grace for the Hellborn team. Predator thinking about going back in, has a tornado up in 5 seconds. Going for the kill on the Engineer, will pick it up. Moraxis in trouble. Corrupted Disciple just not able to get there in time in the end, and a hat trick coming out for Predator. Pebbles did buy back as well, but obviously worth it in the end. Again, the biggest deal right there was that Corrupted Disciple just was not able to make it, and they took advantage. Predator showing off, especially without Corrupted there. He is a very scary unit, or a hero in this case, and now going to push this tower in the end. So, well played there by our Hellborn team, actually.
Yeah, great buyback from Pebbles. Once again,
Ouch.
It's starting to look like a Riser Parasite. I don't know, this guy's owning. It's weird. But, yeah. Excellent buyback from Pebbles. And yeah, CD's only been part of 1 kill. He has recovered in farm pretty well, but I don't like playing Corrupted as a farmer, AFK farmer. I really think he should be part of almost every single team fight. It's just the nature. He doesn't have like a steroid ability that later in the game he gets more stronger and stronger. It's just like you get your core items and you go fight. So yeah, I think if he looks to be more active into these engagements, it's going to help a lot. I mean, even with that fight, I feel like the Legion is still, uh, you know, has a quite a big advantage. You know, Predator still is only level 15. His farm did just shoot up quite a bit to 420 gold per minute. So we'll see if the Hellborn can maybe take a few more good fights like that and look to come back.
Well, Firebrand being delivered, so he is gonna finish that Frostburn here as Predators, and again that Dawnbringer is coming up very, very quickly now. So yeah, I definitely agree with you. Credit the Disciple, he is that carry that, you know, is not that I want to sit back and farm. Definitely can be involved in, yeah, most certainly should be. So the fact that he wasn't able to be there, as you talked, there was a tower there, whether the cooldown was on the teleport or whatnot, not sure about, but just for whatever reason, was not able to join his team. I will say Moraxis, though, going back to him once again, he has a Blessed Orb, 2,600 gold saved up. Not often we get to see Moraxis with this much farm, honestly, but he's managing to most likely go towards that Sheepstick here, and Sheepstick always a good choice, especially in this case. You could pick it up on a hero like Moraxis, so.
Yeah, it's kind of replaced Hellflower, to be honest.
Oh yeah, Hellflower's completely died off.
Used to be, yeah, I mean, used to be you get the blink and maybe like a Helm of the Black Legion, so you don't die instantly after your ult, or you just go straight for Hellflower. But yeah, Sheepstick pretty much replacing the Hellflower here, I think.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, with that when that changed, well, we might have initiation right here. Pebbles is going to go away. No, the double portal key coming out. Now Pebbles needs to be a little bit careful. There's Lodestone also nearby with Engineer, but not going to be a fight in the end. But yeah, with that change to the Hellflower, the no more amplified damage, obviously the big part of it. I was still, I was interested in just like everyone else to see if it would still be used, but I was honestly in the impression of we'd probably still see it simply because the buildup is just so powerful for the item, and it still provides a great ability with the silence on top of the silencing the items as well, the perplexing that is. It's died off though. You're right. We just don't see it anymore. Are you surprised for that, or did you see that coming?
I don't know if I saw it coming, but after playing around with it after the change, it does feel like a huge nerf. I mean, that amplified damage was such a big part of it. Sure, it still has its uses, like situational uses. Using that perplex to burst someone down before they can get, like, you know, their shrunken head off,
yeah,
is also very powerful. But just the, in my experience, the change was just, yeah, such a big nerf that it's hard to get away with getting it. But yeah, as we're talking, Parasite's just running around with that portal key,
yep,
and picking off the squishies.
As expected, again, the start that he had, you kind of feel that coming. That Parasite, he will do that. You have plenty of experiences yourself doing that, I'm sure. Taking out Plague Rider right here in that case, and they're gonna push this middle lane now. Shrunken Head purchased by Pebbles, by the way, so solid pickup there. Dawnbringer was finished by Corrupted. He also has a double damage rune, so able to drop that secondary tower very, very quickly. They're gonna make their way to the bottom lane. Looks like they're gonna clean up this tower now. Not much our Hellborn side's going to be able to do here about that. In the meantime, Predator just trying to make the best use of his time. He's at the top lane. You see Elder Parasite and Sanitarius activated. He is pushing the lane as fast as possible himself. Another 1,800 gold saved up. So again, his own Dawnbringer is most certainly coming up here. And actually, they're going to port it to the top lane here. I believe that is Predator. Yeah, he ports in. And oh, do they catch Pebbles? Thought he might have done a catch right there. Lodestone able to port a key first, though. He's going to use a rocket trail. The turret comes out. He will stun Pebbles in the end, and Pebbles not going to be able to do enough. Defensive Master's Call even coming out just in case. Pebbles was trying to position himself to not get stunned right there, obviously. But in the end, the turret kind of caused some issues, I think. And Lodestone was able to make the getaway, but we could still have a fight brewing. Parasite, there he goes, our portal key initiative, and Pebbles striking it though, gets off, he's gonna be fine, the Plague coming out, it's only gonna bounce one cell, so not the most damage coming out, but Lodestone completely vulnerable, he gets left on, down goes Lodestone, and it is a 5 versus 4 off the bat, the Legion team go in retreat mode, they do not want to fight after that, so Parasite thought he had a free pick, this time, Pebbles says I'm a little tankier than the others.
Yeah, I think even after that engagement, if Meraxis had gone in and CD, they probably could have fought that. CD probably could have gotten like a really good positioning, gotten a full conduit onto somebody. All the spells were down. The Plague and the combo from Pebbles were down. So I was kind of expecting them to jump in there, even with that pickoff onto Lodestone. But yeah, opting to play a little safe and back off. Of course, they did lose one player. And yeah, this is actually, you know, despite the golden XP difference, the Hellborn is actually definitely holding their own.
Yeah.
We do have a Wild Hunter here from Pinky Curdy, but Looks like they're not that interested in setting up down here. I believe Corrupted did port to the top lane. That's why they're not interested.
Pebbles, so they are going to open. Pebbles actually trying to get a response. Even if the Master's Call comes out, it will help keep him alive in the end. I think he might have still been fine, but in the end, he does survive, and it's going to fall back. His Shrunken Head wasn't even up right there, so he didn't even get the chance to use it. And they are going to push the spot on Terra. So like I said, in the end, not going to look for the fight. How about this choice by Predator, by the way? Choosing to pass up the full Dawnbringer, actually, instead going to Soul's Bulwark here, which obviously he hadn't had until this point. So, you think Dawnbringer should have gone Dawnbringer, or you like the Soul's Bulwark pickup?
I think I would have gotten Bulwark as well. I really like going for the minus armor build onto Predator, but yeah, I mean, the farming utility items, it's already 33 minutes to win, and sure, it could still help, but in the end, I think more items for fighting are more beneficial at this point. Like I said, he's not going to farm hard and carry late game. Maybe he can because CD is, also that kind of mid-game carry, but looks like we could have a fight brewing in this top lane. There's all 5 heroes from the Legion team, and if Predator takes another wave, he could be in trouble. Okay, yeah, he's just going to wisely back off here. Just not seeing any heroes in any lanes makes him pretty hesitant to farm that next wave.
Yeah, good choice right there, because that was probably a dead Predator if he kept going. Now, Master of Arms, on the other hand, he too needs to be careful. He's just trying to simply place a ward of sight. He will get it off. Are they going to jump him? Nope. They do have their own ward of sight down here, but obviously you can't see through the tree, so not able to get that, but they will jump Pebbles in the meantime. Pebbles gets the Shrunken Head off, though. He's going to be perfect now. Turns around with the combination. Predator leaps in onto Lodestone. Lodestone's going to fall. The Plague U! A beautiful Plague U right there. No creeps nearby to absorb it. Corrupted a Disciple. He's already solo. Predator actually running away right there, but they do come back in. Down goes Corrupted. Miraxis tanking the damage. He will finally fall, and you see in the background, Parasite, the Soul Survivor, using the portal key, gets a regen rune, actually, and he will jet on out of there. But that was a beautiful play. Oh, yeah, Nymphora actually cutting them off. Beautiful Nymphora TP right on top of Parasite, basically. And they will pick him off. A genocide for the Hellborn team. That Plague U, man. That Plague U.
That was the MVP of that fight. I think right there, Parasite, they had a ward. He could see. Oh, wait, maybe they couldn't see. Okay, never mind. I was thinking the Hellborn's ward. Yeah, I didn't have enough time. Right as he could have turned around to kill Pebbles, I think he did get initiated on by the Predator and Nymphora. But yeah, wow, what a turn of events to Plague U. Whew.
Yeah.
MVP of that fight. Holy crap. I think all the bounces, it was the entire duration, and they all hit a hero. So,
well, there's no Shrunken Head either on the Legion team.
I was going to say, there are no Shrunken Heads at all on the Legion team, and I think maybe Corrupted with a bit of a greedy build might be punished right now for it.
Oh, there you go. They pick off Engineer as well as soon as he comes back in. Middle tower is going to stay alive, it looks like, just barely. Bottom tower did fall, by the way, so at least the Legion team getting a little bit of a victory right there. Back to the middle lane, though. The Lodestone jumps in, gets the kill on the Pebbles, but does sacrifice himself to the Predator. And actually gets the counter kill in the end. Nymphora going to go for the TP. Oh, the sheepstick at the last second. She thought she had the chance to get away. Almost did, actually. Miraxis kind of stutter-stepped right there. But he got the sheepstick off in time. And that kind of goes back to Miraxis as well. Obviously, again, sheepstick is a great item. This, again, there might be hindsight, but Barrier Idol is also pretty powerful against a hero like Plague Rider. And you think Barrier Idol could
I think it's fine. I think it's just the lack of Shrunken. I mean, he could get a Shrunken as well.
That's
I think
true, yeah.
CD without a Shrunken. Like, if you think about it, if he gets a full conduit, okay, he just picked one up, thank God, but if he gets full conduit onto that Predator with the Shrunken Head up, how is he ever going to die? I mean, maybe Pebbles, maybe if the rest of his team is dead and they all converge on him and click him to death, or maybe Pebbles can smack him a few times, but, theoretically, if he has that Shrunken Head up and he has a conduit on the Predator, he's golden, he's going to dish out like a gazillion damage, so yeah, finally got the Shrunken, much needed. So we'll see if they can make an impact in these team fights. But I don't know if they're going to get another beautiful play cult like that again. That happens once in a blue moon.
Once in a blue moon. Talk about the golden experience lead too. I mean, it has gone away. It was upwards of 10,000 for the Legion team, and it's even an experience lead slightly for the Hellborn team now, 2,500 gold lead. You know something else that last fight too that I actually wanted to touch on was Pebbles, an ability we don't talk about often, but the slab skin. Not only for the armor, but that minus 40% debuff duration. He's the one that got sheeped in the beginning there. He came out of it pretty damn quickly, and he came out of it because of that slab skin, of course, and then he activated the Shrunken Head and started that turnaround in the first place. So
yeah, he had a great combo on 2 heroes after them pretty much using everything on him to initiate. So yeah, he's not really a good candidate for the sheepstick. So hopefully Miraxis can keep that in mind for next fight. If they can, it's going to be hard. I mean, I guess they can burst down Maybe Burst Down Predator in the Sheep, maybe not. It's going to be tough. I mean, they do have all the damage from Parasite, and maybe, you know, a well-timed Shatterstorm could be enough, but
Yeah.
as it is right now, maybe the better target would be the Plague Rider. Just take him out. He's actually finished a Barrier Idol here as well, so interesting. Yeah, he's finally got some more tank items. He was just kind of a squishy support hero at one point. Finally finished up some more items. Should not be a free kill for that Parasite anymore.
Yeah, not going the Astral Limb or anything like that. I mean, sometimes we see that build's very popular on him, but going straight into the Barrier Auto, really, as you mentioned, no doubt an item that always brings this benefit to the table, so just fine with that. Predator, or the Brutalizer pickup, of course. He has another 2,400 gold pickup, or saved up
Almost
even.
maxed out though at this point. It's going to replace something. Or actually, we can finish the Demonic.
I was going to say Demonic, and then you could even now finish the Dawnbringer. I mean, I guess, yeah, it's... They're just kind of amping your farm by finishing the Dawnbringer, so is that really the best choice? But, yeah, he's going to maybe need to look to replace something.
Better off replacing something else with a big item. I don't know.
The Elder Parasite replace that with like a Behemoth Heart instead.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good. Maybe the Insanitaries with Heart, or I don't know, damage item. Maybe like a Savage Mace or something could be good. Once he finishes the Demonic with all the attack speed. Would definitely be solid. But he's not. I mean, he's farming 500 now. 7-1-5 definitely kicked it up a notch, and I think the Legion team might be getting almost a little desperate with this gank. They really want to pick someone up bottom. They're not farming anywhere on the map right now, so Hellborn team is, of course, a little worried. This is kind of the stage of the game, maybe around the 40-minute mark, where people often aren't seen farming very much. You just want to stick together because it does come down to the big team fights. So
yeah.
Yeah, as we can see, that's pretty much what's taken hold of this game right now. So Legion team kind of posturing through here. Not sure they're going to find any. Oh, actually, no, there was an initiation in the middle lane. I missed that.
He tried to jump Plague Rider, but Plague Rider got the Barrier Idol up, and then eventually Defensive Master Skull, and Parasite quickly turning around. Pebbles got there in response, but wasn't able to hit the Stalagmites, unfortunately, so no kills happening in the end, and Parasite, you know, not the longest cooldowns, of course.
Such a weird Plague Rider skin. Does he have a little parrot on his...
Yeah, he does have, like...
What is he riding? Is that like a vulture?
It looks like it, yeah.
Maybe that's what that is.
The dude just riding a vulture with a parrot on a stick.
It's so gross when he, like, auto-attacks. He, like, throws up everywhere.
How did that go? Oh, boy. There's a Demonic coming along. I believe he might actually... Well, he's probably going to be finishing up here, but will he get in time? Yeah, okay, they're not going to jump him. If he pushed up a little bit further, they were looking for that jump. Obviously, going for Kongor. There is a Ward of Sight here. Legion side was not able to spot that just yet. The Bound Eye coming off cooldown in about 15 seconds. So maybe once that comes back up, they can counter-ward this Ward of Sight and then look to really try to do Kongor, but... Until that Ward of Sight is destroyed, I don't think you're going to be getting any free Kongor kill attempts by any means. No doubt the Hellborn team is very confident they can take a fight in that Kongor pit, especially with a hero like Plague Rider. That is
it needs to pop that Bound Eye. I don't know what they're waiting for.
Yeah. Might as well, right? I mean, seemed like they want to do it, but... By the way, Dancing Blade just picked up by Corrupted Disciple, so probably going to be that Wingbow coming out here for him. Good evasion against Predator. You like that choice?
It's not, yeah, that's fine. I think Geometer's Bane could have been really good as well to tank the Plague Rider ult. And, you know, if Predator jumps on you, it's just pretty simple. You Geometer's out. And I believe Geometer's does not remove any of CD's buffs anymore. I used to think it did, but you still will keep the Conduit and the Overload. So no fear there as well anymore.
That's true, yeah, especially...
Because I always thought it did, and then I watched a game where somebody picked it up, and I was like, what's this guy doing?
Yeah, it seems like
when he used
it
then
would,
he retained all his buffs. I was like, okay, well, guess it's fine. They're
Yeah.
just sitting here.
I know.
The ward actually expired from the Hellborn team, so... Oh, no, it didn't. They killed it.
They didn't kill
the eye. I'm retarded.
No, you're not, Riser.
Sometimes.
No comment. Conqueror being drawn out right there with the acid, but again, a lot of this is just very patient play, man, by our Legion team, and you almost wonder if it's a little too patient. It seems like they could be doing a lot of damage to Conqueror.
For doing this, I don't know why they just don't go in.
Yeah.
They got great wards.
They're scared. I mean, they're playing scared. That's clearly. Look at that. Why? Okay.
Got him.
Got him, guys. I don't know what even triggered that. I just think that had to simply be misclick. I mean, there's no one from the Hellborn team even coming in at that point. So.
It's okay. Maybe HoN cast On-cast nerves.
Yeah, it's
I
possible.
remember when I was at HoN Tour Finals and you guys were casting, I rooted nothing early in the game, but I don't think you guys noticed. You didn't have the camera on me,
I
so
don't
I
think
watched
we
it.
did.
Yeah.
You got off.
It wasn't like there was a team fight or anything. It was just like I was in the lane pushing and accidentally brewed.
Yeah, I want to clear this creep wave a little quicker.
Yeah.
It's good use of the cooldown, right?
Yeah.
I never make mistakes, so I would never.
Some pretty big Tempest ults.
All me. It was all me. No one assisted. Pan-Man. Oh, Pan-Man. Anyways. Yeah, I really think our Legion team is playing this a little too cautious in the end. I mean, it seems like they could be getting some good chip damage on a Conqueror this whole time, and they're playing very cautious, though. They're going to use another Bound Out right here and get another Ward of Sight killed.
Yeah, they lost some they vision. There was some counter warding done. There was a Ward of Sight for them by the Observatory, for the Hellborn Observatory, I mean. And unfortunately, that was counter warded, so now they have more right to be very cautious. But before, they had pretty much both kind of entrances towards Kongor. They had fantastic vision, so yeah, just I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just the way these team fights have been going. They've been losing team fights, and they thought they had this game. They're a little worried that, man, maybe we could actually lose. This is not going as we thought it would.
You know, so Predator does finish the Dawnbringer now, and that is kind of awkward.
Demonic would have been way better.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, finishing the Dawnbringer, it not only gives you amplified farm, it does slight movement speed, slight attack speed, as well as a little better stats in the end, but still, yeah, Demonic Breastplate seems like it just would have been much better, much more efficient for him to finish, so. But he goes to Dawnbringer, has another 2,400 gold save up, however, but you are at a point where buyback is very important, and that goes for Corrupted Disciple as well, who's saving up about 2,500 gold. So we talked about the possibility of Wing Bow, which is definitely there, but he's still going to need to pull up a bit of gold unless he wants to kind of go in all in here. Without a buyback. If they got the token, then you could definitely do that, but at this rate, I don't even think we're going to see a Kongor kill, because especially the Legion team, they're just playing very passive with it, and not going to go for that advantage. Barbed Armor picked up in the meantime by Moraxis, actually. It's a solid pickup there.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Plague Rider, it's good against him, you know, and the Predator in general. Goes on.
I think they could definitely also use a Bulwark versus this Predator. All the physical damage would certainly go a long way, but actually Lex Talion is picked up by Lodestone. So does that? Doesn't his ult just get rid of all your armor anyway?
I believe it does. Yeah, it does expose you. Yeah, 100% armor and magic.
Oh, NimCP, what on earth? Oh, he's by himself, just warding.
Oh wow, that was a risky spot too.
That was a John NTP.
Right next. That was right next to them. I'm trying to actually confirm on that. I know it does. It makes it completely exposes him. I believe it does. So.
Yeah.
Like it's very, very low.
Oh well.
But
maybe when the ult's down, he wants to use it. I don't know.
Yeah, that seems a little not the most efficient though. But it is an amp damage tool in the end. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but you see they're looking for that jump once again, and here we go. Another standoff here. Kongor is below half-life now, so they've gotten him down a lot more, and it seems like they're a little more willing to kind of tap. Oh, they're going to edge and there we go. Predator going to be jump shoots and coming out. The response from Pebbles coming out. Predator kidding it away. He is still locked down. Stone, I know he will die in the process. The Shadow Storm used, and down he goes. He does have a buyback. He used it. The Plague is bouncing around in the meantime. It goes over to Kongor, back to Engineer. He will fall. A quad kill for Guifixter and all that. He tries to finish off Master of Arms for the Annihilation. Not going to be enough. But wow, a quad kill for Corrupted Disciple. I didn't catch how many charges he had, but it must have, it probably was honestly 10. I mean, he was probably channeling it on Predator the whole time.
Yeah, it took them a while to kill Pred, so yeah, I think you're right. I think it was just, I wasn't watching either. I assume he got a ton of charges from him, though.
Yeah.
And Predator did buy back immediately, but just the way the fight went, he didn't really get a chance to get back in there. It was just over that quickly.
So they were patient, a little bit. Like I stated here, you know, a little against that. Felt like they could have been a little more aggressive, at least maybe kill Kongor. But in the end, patience does pay off. They do pay out Predator to come in. Actually, Pebbles jumping in right here. Doesn't even care about Corrupted. He goes straight from Raxus. This is not going to be worth it, though. He gets locked down. He's probably going to fall in the end. The Kongor up to 5 charges, turning around right there. Predator falling back, though. Ooh. I don't know. Yeah, probably pretty risky. I mean, Losen is there. Moraxis is still nearby, even though he's low in life, so not going to chase. And that's how the fight will ultimately end. So, okay.
Yeah, I think just better initiation from the Legion team, catching on Predator, killing him first even, and nobody else has really farmed enough to be much of a threat on this Hellborn team. So, yeah, I guess I said CD isn't much of a late game carry, but at this point versus a team without one themselves and him being this farmed, he's still pretty fearsome, especially when we can get that many conduit charges and then of course run around with the shrunken head up, and he's just he's gonna definitely melt these underfarmed support heroes.
Yeah, and they were really clumped too because with the jump on Predator, the Hellborn team was trying to collapse to him to assist him, and I guarantee, obviously the overload I'm sure had plenty of effect. The static discharge, that's where Corrupted Disciple shines, man. This hero, not only is he single target with that conduit, of course, but if he gets those guys clumped up, he will dish out a lot of AoE damage with the overload activated and whatnot. So that was a big part of that fight. It just seemed like I was watching a Plague bounce around, thinking the Hellborn team had a chance. All of a sudden, a quad kill for Corrupted. And actually, Rift Shards, what level is that? Level 3 Rift Shards. Just purchased by Corrupted Disciple, actually. So he wants the raw damage now, and can't blame him here. I think he's doing well enough in these fights. As far as
it's fine. I think whatever he got
yeah.
at this point. I mean, Geometer's Bane would have been... Well, okay, if you got Geometer's, you'd have to split up his thingy-majigger, Dawnbringer, so... it's a lot of work. Maybe just buy some crit.
It takes a lot of clicking.
When you get farmed enough, you just do whatever the hell you want.
Exactly. This is what we call the luxury items coming out here.
Yeah.
For Corrupted Disciple. Hellborn team knows that. They need to really try to capitalize here. Is this going to be the moment? Nice Arcane Shield coming out. In the meantime, Pebble steps in the background. He's going to be chef, though. Will it matter in the end? A little jump for Lowstone. Predator again being locked down. He did nothing that fight. He got bursted the whole time. Corrupted Disciple only has one charge of that conduit, but he's dishing out so much damage anyways. GG's coming out. Another quad kill by Corrupted. And that is going to be game number 1. Corrupted Disciple. I think it's safe to say he got dangerous by the end. And doing well.
Yeah, definitely made up for a bit of a weak early game and paid back his team late game. So yeah, definitely well played by him. And yeah, I think the game just dragged on too long for the Hellborn team. No one had really a whole lot of farm except for Predator, and all in on Predator when it goes past 40, 45 minutes is pretty grim unless he's sitting around, 600 some billion GPM. So unfortunately, there was a bit of a timer for the Hellborn team, and it just kind of expired.
Yeah, and again, the patience at that Conger area, they seems like they maybe could have actually gone for a Conger kill for that 5-minute phase it was or something like that, and maybe even gotten it, but they kept on, toying with the Hellborn team, really trying to bait them out, and in the end, after all that time, Predator just like, I'm tired of waiting here, I'm just going to try to push up a little bit. The patience paid off. They caught him.